What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Ranger Nation, episode 2. In today's episode, we'll be covering episodes 3 through 16. Everybody, we got the usual crew, the original Party Nation crew, 3Dub, Taj, and Darren McClymans, also known as formerly known as Infotex. How's everybody doing today, guys? How's everybody doing?
Doing good.
I'm tired.
I've had fun this week.
Working? Watching the episodes?
You said what?
What?
I said, is everybody's brain hurting from watching these episodes?
I've had fun this week. I've had fun. I've had problems with a lot of these episodes, and I'm excited to talk about some of them. But honestly, it has taken me back to being a kid again. I realized, at first, I'm like, this is so stupid. And then, by the end, I'm like, you know what? Fuck, I don't care. This is fun as hell. I feel like it's like Stockholm syndrome, just a little bit of just you know what? It's stupid. I don't care.
It's fun watching. It's just been a long week.
Yeah.
You know,
we watched 14 episodes this week. That's crazy.
And for those who might ask, we did all of these episodes because nothing really happens in Body Morphin season 1. Now, when we get to season 2 and 3, we will do 2 to 3 episodes a week or something like that because it's more to talk about.
Yeah.
This is
really
really
going to be weird because there's 60 episodes in season.
Jesus.
And I looked at the episode count for the other 2 seasons. It's lower, and I was like,
shorter.
Damn. Yeah. Season 2 is 52 episodes.
Jesus.
And then season 3 is 43 or 42. And that's kind of like the standard for the rest of the shows because it's 40 something, pretty much almost for every series at that point.
Yeah.
Even though it's season 2, I don't clarify as it season 2 and 3. Basically, they're one season because of one type of ranger. Once it gets to Zeo, that would be season 2 for me.
Yeah, but that's for you.
Yeah, that's for me. But
I think that each one is their own individual show.
They are, because if you look up the Power Ranger thing, it's actually separated like that.
Yeah.
That's why I see it that way.
That's fair. I gotta separate. I cannot lump season 1 and season 2 in the same conversation. I can't do it.
Yeah, and
because season 40 of Power Rangers is oh my god.
There's 145 episodes in technically season 1 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Jesus,
I'm not calling it that.
Yeah, that makes it too long to try to actually think about because honestly, and we're gonna get to it in a minute. Honestly, these episodes, while it brings back that nostalgia, you see those glaring issues in storytelling and the fact that they were just trying to gain their footing with season 1, trying to come up with stories that could correlate with what was going on in Sentai footage. But before we get to that, if you are new here, please like, share, and subscribe, and do the same for all of these lovely gentlemen, especially maybe not 3Dub. He already has a lot of followers, Wow. No, give them, I'll make sure they're all tagged in the description as usual. Keep blowing up these Ranger Nation chats. We're reaching a lot of different people, and I thank everybody for all the feedback. So as we dived into these episodes, guys, I'm not gonna lie, I dozed off a few times in a few of them. Like I said, this was a season of gaining your footing and trying to figure out how to craft stories around Japanese Sentai fighting footage and trying to make it a cohesive story.
Yeah.
But in doing so, you have a lot of dumb and racial stereotypical episodes that back then people were not that, aware of that it was bad. But I mean, one episode. Oh, and the ADR. Oh my God. I noticed this. I noticed this in later seasons as well. It happened in an episode of when it was time for Trent was about to get exposed for being the White Ranger with the weird little kid that was trying to show Cassidy the footage, but it was really him. The kid's ADR was bad too. I'm like, no kid sounds like that. Then I get to rewatch Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I'm like, whoa, this is even worse. The ADR for Trini's uncle was the thickest Chinese accent I've ever heard. why are you all doing it? The kids don't sound like, you could tell the voice is not coming from that body.
Yeah.
I'm like, dog, the ADR was terrible back then. It just adds on top of like the bad storytelling.
How the
And
hell
at the
you
same
dub
time,
English?
you get locked in. How are you dubbing in? Thank you.
You dub it fucking English. That was ridiculous.
I don't understand. Like, do y'all not like the actor's voice or something? Like,
Probably not, because remember at that time Saban was being super cheap and not hiring actual union actors. So like none of them were really actors prior to the show.
cause I'm like, I would hate to like you film this whole episode, then you go home and watch it, and then it's just like, that's not my voice. Like, that's crazy. That would piss me off. Like,
Yeah. I do agree with Darren though. I think early in the week in the group chat, he said that it's starting to find its footing. And I felt like that too. Even though the episodes are they still hard to get through, but you can tell like, all right, now they're comfortable, they know what they're doing. They're starting to see what it is.
I think it's after the like Zach birthday episode. I think that one onward, it's like, oh, the cast is finally having a lot more chemistry with each other. They feel like real friends. There's like the actual like camaraderie like among the cast. They, I think they're feeling more confident as a unit. And like finally, because like I started, like last week and like the start of this week, I was like, man, this isn't really the show I remember. Like I remember Mighty Morphin being a lot stronger than it was. And like, oh, it is. They just needed to find their footing first. They needed to find who they are as a brand. And I think that's what people remember. I will say, like, actually, I think this would be a really fun way to get this going. Did everybody have like a favorite episode from like the 14 that we watched this week?
I have 2.
Okay.
It's the food fight episode with the pig.
Yeah.
That was probably my favorite.
That's my first Power Ranger episode ever.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I have
wasn't
a lot
that
of
Bryan
like,
Cranston?
nostalgia.
What, didn't he voice the pig?
I can't remember.
I think so. I'm not sure.
And I actually like the sign language episode. I actually like that episode too.
I do too.
I did too.
Those were my favorite 2 episodes. Those are the ones I vividly remember out of rewatching. Mind you, I just binged all of them yesterday.
Yeah. I kind of had mixed feelings about like the sign language episode because like I think that's a good example. I think Lance already started talking about this a little bit. Like Power Rangers has been always very diverse and always very open to try and speak up against diversity, and I think they do a good episode of like a good job about that. Even if some of it is still a little outdated, like some of it does. Like, do they treat her like a pet in that episode because she can't speak?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think at the time they were like, hey, we want people to recognize this and be able to like fight against that in some sort of way. And, we see that all through the show. And I think like Mighty Morphin was trying their damn best at the time to be a very diverse show, even if they still fell for the stereotypes of the time, like the whole Zach dancing and stuff like that, and all the things like around his character. And it's like, they were trying, but it's still a little rough sometimes.
Yeah.
I'd say for me, my favorite 2 episodes were I like the sign language episode, and I want to say the episode that focused on Billy the most was the one with Trini's granddad. Again, I liked it. Outside of the ADR thing, it gave, because I know they had to no, not that one. The episode where they had to focus where Zordon randomly told them how they can make like the Super Ranger basically by focusing all their powers together on the one coin that he did not tell them from like previous episodes with the girlfriend. I like that episode. I did get hints of the what he complained about, where like, because he's a part of the LGBTQ community. So you could tell this episode was forced. But at the same time, I felt like he made it work. And again, with the bad ADR, because that was not her voice. I could definitely tell that was not that girl's voice. I did like it though. I loved how Rita got pissed when the monster, because I was hoping that she wouldn't be like, oh, the monster didn't get a ranger at all, but I'm just gonna, I'm not gonna say anything about it. Rita directly referenced it, and I like that. I like that type of storytelling. I don't like when something dumb happens. It's dumb, but you just don't say anything. I'm glad she said something about it. I'm glad she tried to correct it. even if she is like an evil, piece of shit. Like she referenced it. They all went in, they all tried to help, and then they ended up like even Billy was not expecting to be the ranger that was chosen to get all the power, and because he's not the best fighter, even though we've seen him get fighting lessons from like the past 14 episodes, but like I love that it focused on Billy because honestly, Billy is literally one of my favorites. So I'm glad that he got a lot of focus. He got, he was being charming in his own nerdy way. How badly they write his dialogue. He was being charming in his own nerdy way, and I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Which is why I disliked like one of those final episodes where they're like, I'm not a good fighter, and he gets like pushed around by like Bulk and Skull, and I was like, why do we keep writing him like
the
that?
uncle episode? Yeah, I'm like, you're letting Bulk and Skull like just beat you up. Then you need Trini's granddad to drink that invisible green juice.
And like they like go to kidnap him, and he's like, "What's going on?" I was like, "Go fucking get him, Billy!
Speaking of the fighting, you ever like get like wondering why they automatically know how to fight when they're in the suits, but when they're out of suits, Billy's like struggling?
Well, they explain that, right? Because when they're in the suits, there's programming in like the power.
Yeah, but shouldn't the programming last all the way, like as soon as the first morph? Shouldn't like he automatically know how to fight?
No, you have a very good point. You have a very good point, 3Dub. That
if it was programmed in his brain,
you would think so.
It would stay there.
3Dubs, do you have a favorite out of the ones we talked about?
No.
Okay. Did you not watch them or no?
No, I did.
Oh, okay.
That's why I was like, no.
Okay, gotcha.
Can we talk about how endangering the adults are in this show? Like,
bruh,
the episode where Jason's trying to break the record and Ernie is just cheering him on. I'm like, he's a teenager, and what if he collapsed and that land on his neck? I know it's a kid show, but I'm like, that's irresponsible. Where's his gloves? Like, where's his spotter? Your fat ass would just sit there eating.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell are you doing?
Oh, and speaking of which, he lost count. So at the end of the episode, they had to bring in Trini to make sure they didn't lose count.
That was
yeah, I don't like how they treat Ernie in this show, to be honest.
That was bad.
Me either. I hate the way they treat Ernie.
Yeah, like there's a lot of like fat phobic stuff surrounding the show that the show does.
It is
like with Bulk and with Ernie. It's like, I don't know, man. Like it's weird because like you can be like so diverse in some areas, and then when it comes to like that stuff to like the LGBTQ stuff, it's like they weren't there yet. They just they weren't. I think my favorite though, it may have been the like plane episode. Like
when Kimberly had to land that plane, that was dope. But it was just the fact that like Bulk and Skull had to shoehorn their way in. I'm like, what? They don't have to be in every damn episode. Like, dude. And then they called her uncle. Thank you, uncle. I said, whose writing was that? Like that's cringy as hell. Like that was cringy when you wrote it.
Yeah.
That's the issue with season 1. Like they didn't know what to do with Bulk and Skull yet. Like,
do they ever?
Episode. I think they did a better job from season 2 onwards.
Okay.
Because they weren't in as much. I mean, we'll see on the rewatch.
My favorite,
so
obviously, my favorite Bulk and Skull, like their portrayal would be in space. They kind of got like their ground by this.
Yeah, they are. They are in space.
They are.
Yeah.
But they're more mellow and in space. Like,
but they're more.
I don't remember them being this annoying.
Yeah, they start
to be mellow.
Time. Like they're in every few episodes. They're not like
unironically, I think I like Bulk the most in Samurai, just because like he's like an actual character there. Like he's like a father figure. Like weird spot to put Bulk in, but like still it's like
I would also say Zio also had the best Bulk and Skull.
I don't remember.
Is that when they were police?
Yeah, they were police.
Oh my, you're right.
So they started police training in like season 2 or 3 of Mighty Morphin. I can't remember which one it was.
Are they in Turbo?
Yes.
Yeah, they're monkeys.
They're monkeys though.
They got like monkeys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This rewatch is gonna go crazy because I don't remember that at all.
Still do the voice though. It was weird, but
It was
that's
kind of
basically
funny
what's
because they were going on to do like a spinoff at the time, which didn't work out. So
Oh, thank God.
they had to come back to
I wasn't watching
the
that.
well, it never aired. So
You know what I'm saying? Like, if it had got greenlit, like I wasn't watching that as a kid. Like,
That's
I liked
stu-
yeah,
Pokemon
that's such a
Skull,
stupid pitch.
so
but I
they
was like,
wrote
what
them
the hell
as
would they do? Like,
they
what would
wrote
it
them
be?
as monkeys, and then at the very end they turned them back.
It's
Yeah,
dumb.
for
Was
In
it was
Space.
dumb.
Yeah,
I'm like, it's just a way to keep them on the show without actually having to pay them to
You
be
don't
there.
need them on the show.
you
Exactly.
didn't. After a while, their storylines do become like, all right, why are they here?
And no one actually knew that there were monkeys. And I don't know how they kept their job.
Yeah, because they still did the ADR for the monkeys, which is
No,
weird.
I meant I don't know how Bulk and Skull actually kept their jobs as policemen because they were absent as monkeys.
Well, I mean, I don't know. In Space, they wasn't policemen. They was hanging out with that weird professor dude. So
Yeah.
they obviously didn't have their jobs
Oh.
no more.
Yeah, and like again, like I don't know what they're gonna do with the characters going on. My memory is very, not there. But like someone on the show has like a spilling like fetish. Like every episode ends with them having to get spilled on, and it's like why? Like you can do more
Yeah.
creative things. Like
Or them
They
even
falling
found
in
it,
cake.
too.
Them ruining like perfect ass cakes. Like
Yeah, they pulled out the cake for Jason and like somehow Bulk just falls into it. It's just like, what the
can
And
we
they
talk
pulled-
about how weird and fake the falling gag looks? Like he'll just be standing there just and whoa! I'm like Bulk, like dog, like really.
Yeah,
Really?
it's-
And then
it's
I don't
weird.
remember Skull being this dumb.
Skull's actually
don't-
smart. He becomes rich later on.
I don't like in Bulk treats him like he's like lower than dirt.
Actually, no. Skull is smart because in the later seasons, it's when the second team gets here. I think him and Adam have an episode together, and he like knows how to play piano and stuff. Like
Mhm.
Skull's actually very smart. He just hangs
Bulk
around.
treats
I
him
think
like-
that's the issue.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to like dethrone his friend, so he probably acts dumb around him.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Can we talk about how their teacher? What's the teacher's name? Mr. Chapman or something?
They change teachers like every season.
Don't get attached to one teacher.
No, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
saying, but
about
like
to
in this first season, like he's giving me like gaslighting vibes for some reason. Like he told the food fight happens and he's mad because his toupee got knocked off several times.
Oh, that's the
Yeah,
principal. That's the principal.
So he gets mad and just throws the broom to Jason, talking about you're in charge of cleanup. This wasn't his
terrible
fault.
principal. Yeah.
This was not his fault. You know whose fault it was.
And
Like
when
you're
he was
looking at
yelling,
Bulk and
he-
Skull
he-
started.
He was
Like
specifically looking at Jason and them like they started it. It's like, what the fuck?
like talking about some you all the food fair is ruined. We're not gonna get the money, bro. Shut up, because all you care about is the money. That's all you care about.
And it's toupee.
My thing is, dog, you had hair on top. What did you need to pay for?
He
By
did
the
have hair.
way,
That
I
was so
talked
weird.
about this in our group chat. $20 for a sandwich is insane. I don't care
It
what
is.
the fundraiser is.
Yeah,
And back
it
then, that wouldn't have been that. Back then, especially, hell no.
Yeah, that would have been like
That's like
$5.
king. That's a king sandwich, apparently. Royalty.
Man, hell no.
Can we talk about how they always want to try to like Bunk's always want to try to challenge somebody to a death, and then it's just Zach. The episode ends with Zach just dancing. I'm like, bro, these.
And then
It's-
Bulk dances, and you're like, what the hell?
Yeah, I was like, what?
Which
Yeah, I
find
just
it
found out.
weird.
First of all, he thought the handstand on the counter was like going like kill it. Everybody's like, oh, I'm like, bro, that's not.
And
That's
speaking
not
of Zach,
gold.
I literally found out this year, 2025, that he had not all of his fingers. Because
Yeah.
as a kid, I was like, Black Ranger has 5 fingers, so he should have 5. I thought it was just like how he was. It was an actor choice of how he grabbed people on the shoulder and stuff. I thought it was an actor choice. I didn't put 2 and 2 together as a kid.
It got blown off with a cap gun when he was a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew that for years. I was surprised y'all didn't know that.
Well, we weren't looking at his fingers. We're
No, it
looking
was
at his
something.
back.
It was something that I like saw back like during like the late Disney era.
Yeah, I wasn't
That's something that I
allowed on
found
a
out.
computer.
Oh, well, damn.
Yeah, he said it got he just talked about like
Yeah.
I want to say like about a month ago like what actually happened, and he was it was when he was a kid, he was playing with a cap gun, and it blew
That's
it off.
weird. I do agree with Darren. Like Zordon, you know they might go up against villains that are way stronger than them. Why did you pull them out of battle, send their Megazords back, then tell them about the weapons just to send them back out and redo everything?
Exactly.
Like, bro,
Exactly.
I'm not gonna lie. Zordon's incompetent in season 1, bro. Like, I swear, bro.
I will say like that could be a part of the Sentai. Like they wanted to line up with the
I
Sentai
get that,
footage.
but still,
I
like,
get it. It's still dumb though. Like they're out fighting
Yeah,
already.
it's like why just make your own show by then? Don't rely
like
on
I
the
get
Sentai.
using the Sentai for like fight scenes and Megazord stuff. I get that, but like the one thing that season 2 and 3 did very well was start incorporating like American footage and stuff like that and doing their own. Because you can tell, especially in season 2 and 3, specifically 3, like you can tell they start using because they run out of footage, obviously, but you can tell they started doing their own. So like, fucking do that. Like I don't understand.
Like Zordon, they're sitting there like the episode where they become punks. Zordon, you decided not to tell them, but you saw it happen. You know what happened. So you let first of all, who told them that's how punks act?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That was such a 90s thing. Yeah.
It is.
And the fact that the guy who voices Zordon only filmed once in person. The rest is his voice.
Yeah.
So look, this is the punk episode. This is the punk episode. These are the waters. The waters that they clearly see sitting right there. Kimberly and Billy. Sitting right next to the damn water. I'm thirsty. Well, here, have some water. Are you serious? I said, excuse me? You didn't see all that water right there?
And the whole Kimberly thing was so weird because making you a punk automatically means you're going to be attracted to Skull for some reason.
Yeah, it was like, then that means you was always attracted to him.
That's what I was thinking.
You just didn't want to admit it.
Yeah. Oh wait, the singing squash. That I laughed so hard at the I was not expecting it to really sing. I said, this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. The singing squash actually. And my thing is, Zordon, if you knew you needed that, you could have just sent Alpha.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Alpha's pretty capable. Like he went in and killed all those putties in one shot. I was like, why don't you just send him out more? He's clearly more capable.
Why didn't you just turn him into a robot ranger? Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
When did the putties get them big ass things on their hands? I don't remember that. Like they got big ass mittens. It was so weird.
Version 2.
Can we talk about the noise that they make when they pop up though?
Was that it?
My thing, and then when you hit them, it sounds like they're hitting solid brick, but they're called putties. So it shouldn't sound like that. I say y'all couldn't think of those sound effects because it sounds like they hitting bricks, but they call putties, so it should be soft.
Oh my gosh!
Hey, why did I not peep this entire time that Rita's footage was strictly all Sentai, and they would just voice it over everything? I said I did not.
Oh really? Oh wow.
Yeah, it wasn't until
look at her mouth. Look at her mouth.
In space, they actually hired an actress.
No, they did it before then.
Well, I mean, they literally hired a new actress to play the good version of Rita.
Oh yeah, I get that, but I'm just talking about the character in general. Like they did actually cast, because all of Rita and Zed stuff isn't in the Sentai stuff. That stuff is American made, which is why it looked decent quality when they.
When does Zed join? Is that season 2?
That's
season 2.
Yeah,
and the putties give Z a big target on their chest.
I need Zed because it's like, dog, like this is hard. Like,
like
next
why?
Week is Tommy. Next week is
wait,
Tommy.
Zed may be the better villain, but he's obviously the stupidest one too because they put a big target on their chest. It was like hit this target for them to just like.
Well, the thing I like about that, I mean, we're not on season 2, but the thing I like about it is that they figured it out themselves. Zordon didn't tell them. Like, I think one of them made a mistake and like hit the Z, and then it like dispersed or whatever. And they were like, "Oh, you got to hit the Z," which is dumb, a dumb design on Zed's part. But but also his character, we're gonna talk about it when we get to season 2. I hate the soccer moms ruined that character, bro. I'm so mad, yo. I'm so mad because he started out so good.
Just so, but all in all, it was a fun watch. It was a fun rewatch.
They were also sexifying goddamn Kimberly, bro. Because the
clothes
he had, bro. I was like, as a kid, I was like, I knew I like girls back then, but rewatching it, I was like, I see why I really like girls, bro. Like,
they did it to both Kim and Trini as well. Like there are shots that they would last extra long on. I was like, I see you. I know exactly what you're doing.
Like the episode with Jason when he was doing the world record thing, it panned to Kimberly and you could hear them in the background, like Ernie cheering them on. And she's in one position on the balance beam.
They like zoom down a little bit.
Yeah, they zoomed down. And I'm like,
damn it.
I was like, Kimberly got the yams.
We talked like the episode where Kimberly was teaching the dance class.
They covered
Billy
it too.
Billy was trying to mock it, and then he ended up on the cart. I'm like, bro. I'm like,
they just let him fly around the
room. He went in there and crashed, and then the crash turned him around, and he came back out. I said, "This is so corny."
It keeps pissing me off how terribly they treat Billy when he's not in the suit. They treat him like he's a bozo. I hate it.
And then when Kimberly saw the brain switching machine, she's chewing gum like, more phenomenal. I said, bruh, really? You're this shocked? And then oh yeah, Bulk and Skull get it. And don't get me started on the actor that plays Bulk trying to be Skull. I said, you sound mentally challenged. Like you don't sound like Skull. You sound like something's wrong with you. Like, and I'm like, y'all just break into stuff. Y'all just break in and do stuff. Like, and then also, that episode, they switch bodies and immediately go to school.
Oh yeah, you did complain about that. I saw that.
They switch bodies and just go to school. And then Billy's just like, nah, forget makeup. After you smudge the lipstick all over your face. And then then Kimberly makes the computer explode and start shaking because she don't know what she's doing. I said, why didn't y'all just go to Zordon? I mean, not like he would be much help anyway, but why didn't you go to your friends? You went to school first. I said, who wrote this? Like, I get you want to get the comedy, but
how did he have
he got to be super genius level. He made
how did he enhance a fucking punch buggy in order to get that shit to fly? Like, how the hell?
That standard should have gotten him into college.
Yeah,
he should have been hired by NASA immediately out of high school.
Yeah. They're very inconsistent with his smartness because in one episode he can make an episode that transfers people's minds, can read minds, and then the next one he doesn't know how to defuse a bomb, and it's like, what's going on, buddy?
It's weird.
Ernie's juice bar, it's just such a you can do anything there. Like, you can play volleyball.
Yeah, because they teach
you
classes.
can get a sandwich. You can do gymnastics, dance class, karate class.
That place must be bigger than we thought it was.
Exactly, because you could have a food fair. You can have a food fair at Ernie's Juice Bar for the school
party,
but not use the school for it. Why didn't you use the school for it?
What's funny
isn't it a part of the school?
Is it?
I
don't
think
know.
I think
I
I
think it
think
is.
I think the juice bar is a part of the school.
Yeah, because
Oh, is
whenever they leave Ernie, they always go to like a hall and it's lockers and stuff. So it is attached
Yeah.
to the school.
Oh.
Oh, see now. Okay, see
What's
now
the
that makes
budget of
more
the
sense.
school?
I
Ugh.
don't know. Whenever they do out shots, I know they do it in season 2 and 3 where they'll do like outside shots of the school, and it looks pretty big, like a freaking university. Like so,
You're rich.
like yeah. I mean, it's California, so
Well, I mean,
yeah.
well, at least we still need to acknowledge the fact that, like Ernie needed to put down some of the juice in the sandwiches in there.
Well, he was originally supposed to be the physical embodiment of Zordon originally.
So what happened to that?
Really?
Yeah, originally I think it was like in early development. Like he was originally supposed to be like the human form for Zordon. I don't know why they changed it.
Excuse me.
Which would have been even more irresponsible. So I'm happy they didn't do that because they'd have made him the worst mentor in Power Rangers. It's bad.
I always
Yeah,
like when Ernie turns on the television and sees the Power Rangers, and then the Power Rangers are like there laughing.
The like gaslighting episode was so funny. Jason's like, I hear they're like aliens, and it like I don't know how far in ahead they knew about like the Alien Ranger stuff, but it's very funny. Like
No, it's not yet.
retrospectively. Yeah.
They don't find out like we don't get into like the greater world of Power Rangers until like
season 3.
Yeah, I mean, I just meant like as the writers, did they maybe have an idea? Of what they wanted to do
I don't
later
know.
on.
Probably.
Yeah.
They are the Alien Rangers actually do happen before the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers in the
I know.
Sentai.
The Sentai,
Okay, so yeah, maybe it's like a reference to that. Maybe
because when
Yeah.
you watch the Sentai footage for that in Alien Rangers, it looks extremely old. It looks so bad. I don't know. I feel like season 2 and 3 are different writers compared to season 1. Those
Gotta
seasons,
be. It
those
gotta be
seasons
because
feel
I don't.
completely different.
Gotta be.
Either that or they got their shit together. That's all I can say.
But I mean, other than that, I'd say these episodes were a mixed bag for me. But I'm just gonna be nice and give them a solid. We're doing it on a scale of 5.
Oh yeah, 5 stars.
I say a 2.5. 2.5. Whoever's watching, we're being extra critical because we kind of have to be like rewatching this and knowing what we know about television productions and movie productions now, seeing how the writing has evolved throughout the years. Yes, this is nostalgia. Yes, this is fun for us. Yes, it's our childhood. But at the same time, if I see BS, I'm gonna call BS. And these episodes were they were a 2.5. I'm gonna give all of them a 2.5. I can't wait to see how it's elevated with not with Jason. It's elevated.
Well, his name is Jason. His name is Jason. So
I don't even call him Jason. I'll just say JDF.
Yeah, I forgot his name was Jason. Oh, speaking of Jason, Austin is not a good actor.
Oh, he's bad. He's bad. It's pretty rough.
We gotta come on, Ranger. We gotta protect him for Rita.
He was in stuff in the 90s, so his acting is actually pretty decent.
I think he gets better as he gets older. Like when he comes back his later stuff.
Yeah, like they do a really good job. I think David Yost gets better as an actor.
He does.
I think all of them get better. Like I think Jason is good in Zeo, but like that first season,
he is.
I give it a solid 2.5. I don't know about y'all.
I don't have a rating because it goes up and down, but like I really enjoyed myself. Like again, a lot of this is not good. Like some of these are really bad, but you know, I also think of a little bit of that is the charm. Like I think season 1 does have a charm to it. Like again, like that pig episode is probably the most like nostalgic episode of Power Rangers for me. I'm watching that. I was like, memories are coming back to me. Like holy shit, I knew when I was there. I was watching that and all that stuff. So it's fun.
Yeah,
I give mine a 0.5 out of 5.
God damn.
Dang.
I was extremely like grabbing my head and throbbing out of the pain. Like, this is so cringe. What the?
Yeah. And I get it. Like, it's a part of the charm. But I think for season 1, it's good cringe when you're a kid.
Yeah,
I
kid
think when
cringe
you're
is like, yeah,
older,
it's awesome.
yeah,
When's the next
when you're
episode?
older, it's
Adult
like,
me, I'm
nah,
like, what the
son.
fuck?
Yeah, the adult me, I'm like, nah, son. This is. I
This
might be
is
where
definitely
Lance is. Actually, no, I'll give it a 3. I enjoyed myself. I
Yeah.
was like shaking my head with stuff, but like for the most part, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I know the older heads are going to probably get on us because to them, Mighty Morphin season 1 is the best, and I'm like, man, y'all lost your damn mind. Like, I mean, we have to critique it. If it wasn't for In Space and the franchise stayed in this kind of not kiddie, but like I don't even know how to. Y'all know the tone it has for like Mighty Morphin. If it stayed that way, I would have been like, all right, it's hard to be critical, but like In Space kind of like kicked the door open and it never went back until the Neo Saban era.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like so, yeah, like it's rough, but
So when
listen,
we start,
I'm already letting you know now off rip. It's 5 out of 5. I'm letting y'all know ahead of time before we even get.
So
Yeah,
when we
I was about to
start,
say next week we have some peak coming. We have some peak coming.
when we start the Green with Evil, it's going to be 6 out of 6 stars. We're doing.
Oh yeah,
Ranger
because
count.
he is a 6.
He's the-
That's fair. That's fair. That's
Yeah,
fair.
that makes sense.
And then
Oh,
I
yeah,
feel like
I'm
we should
with
just
you,
I
man.
feel like first we should just rank Zordon and Alpha's like incompetence on a different rating scale.
When we get to like Dino Charge, it'll be like 13 stars.
Oh my gosh, they do got like 10,
They have
13
so
Rangers.
fucking many.
You got the core
Graphite. I said what?
Then-
Graphite Ranger, Aqua Ranger, the Cayenne
Yeah.
Ranger. Like y'all make it up
is a lot.
colors at this point.
It is a lot, bro. Yeah, which color was that?
This is Aqua. They had blue and Aqua.
And then that was Tyler's dad, who just miraculously didn't age for all them years.
Yeah, that was weird.
He was frozen in pop as a popsicle.
Yeah, but that was I don't know. That was weird.
Just like
say,
the Blue Ranger.
Listen, we can listen. Alien Rangers, I know we're doing as like a season review, but I'm not
I'm
gonna
excited
lie.
to rewatch that,
I'm gonna watch a recap of that somewhere.
Neo Saban,
I'm watching
the Neo
that
Saban
shit.
era. The Neo Saban era is going to be tough to get through. Oh my lord!
We're not watching Megaforce at all. I'm not watching that.
Well,
It's the
I'm
fact
watching
that
the
they wore the
last
same-
episode.
They wore the
I'm
same
gonna-
outfits the
I'm gonna
entire
watch it.
both seasons. They wore the same clothes. In
The
Megaforce.
Legendary
watch it.
Ranger episode is the only one I'm watching in Megaforce.
It's not even that
that's
good.
Terrible. That's terrible.
It's not good.
I was so excited for that to get let down.
I'm sorry, but Jason David Frank, I'm watching it. No matter.
Oh
you know
no,
what.
yeah, I get it too. But I watched all the old Rangers.
How did
too.
he show up as the Black Ranger, but was also there as the Green
He had
Ranger?
he had a
But
master
was also
morpher.
there as the
He
White
ain't have
Ranger.
it yet.
No,
He
wait.
didn't-
I actually looked at that. They did not actually have the Black Ranger in the lineup. Like he was only the Green Ranger in the thing, and
Which
all the
makes
other
so
Rangers, with all the other Rangers that he was that he had powers with, weren't in the team. You never
Still
actually saw him.
canon though. It doesn't make sense why he would have the green power at that point in time, but it's still fun. Just
Master
It was
Morpher.
gone. He
And
didn't
it's
have
just
it yet.
Crazy how what was the Red Ranger's name on Megaforce?
That we know of.
Troy, wasn't it? Troy.
Troy, like he
He
was
was
just
so
the
terrible.
chosen one. He was just the chosen one to have these dreams.
Troy was so
terrible,
boring.
bro.
I
The actor was bad.
And he's mad when people tell him he's bad. Like, dog, we're telling you the truth. You suck.
I'm not gonna sit up here and lie. I'm sorry. I don't.
Like you were pure.
I
were
still
trash,
think.
dog. Like,
I
you
still
can't
think.
act.
I still think Jason David Frank's Tommy Oliver had the Master Morpher since after Dino Thunder.
I don't think so. I think it wasn't until later where he got it.
I don't think it happened when we saw him. Like in
Yeah, of
Ninja.
course, of course.
Yeah, when I don't think he I don't think he acquired it like 2 weeks before the episode of Dimension.
No, I'm not saying that he just got it, but I'm saying I don't think he had it at the big battle either. I think the what is it called? The legendary
because it
battle?
makes sense though if that's the reason why he's the
The
Green
legendary
Ranger.
battle. No, actually, no. You know they're inconsistent when it comes to that. I'm not even going to touch
Well,
that one.
I'm just going to.
don't
I'm going
have
in my
none have-
mind canon.
Well,
he
either
had
that
it
or the
then.
grid. Either that or the grid, because we saw in Beast Morphers that Jason was able to get the coin back through the grid. So I'm
It's
not
the way
saying
it's the way he
Master Morpher.
grabbed it through the grid too.
Yeah, I don't think Tommy got the Master Morpher until like after the legendary battle, where he realized like, oh, there are Power Rangers in other dimensions and stuff. All right, we need to figure out
Did
how to
Comics
communicate.
ever explain how he got the Master Morpher?
No, because there is nothing about him creating the Master Morpher yet.
No.
Actually, no. His solo Legend of the Dragon one, he has the Master Morpher in that, and it explains that it was created by like, what was it? Was it Cranston Industries or something? It was something like that.
Cranston Tech.
Yeah, Cranston Tech. So yeah, it definitely wasn't at the legendary battle.
So Billy's
that
still
story,
alive.
that story is canon actually to Tommy's character.
Well, well, that was stupid. He was obviously alive and wasn't always Ranger. But I was thinking like, how did he? They never
that takes
actually.
That takes place in the future though. That's not.
They
like,
never actually explained how he got cured of his aging thing problem that he had.
You know, Power Rangers don't. Yeah. It was a new roster after that season, so it was like, who cares?
Yeah, but
sort of.
guys,
It was half new.
We're gonna wrap this up. We're at like 41 minutes. But
I'm afraid to see what next week gonna be.
Chat, let us know what you think about our thoughts. If you remember any of these episodes, please let us know in the comments and stay tuned. Next week is the episode that we have all been waiting for. Green with Evil is here, like the legendary Green Ranger, the best Green Ranger. I'm ready. Remember, like, share, and subscribe.
My goal.
Make sure these guys are nice and tagged in the. That ain't sound right. I'll make sure that they're tagged in the description box down below. And yeah, I'll catch everybody next time. Bye. Hey, 3Dub.
Yes.
Is it gonna?